Primetime. I'm Mr. 33, your host with the absolute most, bringing you a six-match card tonight here, as we have a spicy set of bouts in the build-up to Turmoil and AI Annihilation in literally a week. So strap on in. We head into our opening bout of the evening. It seems one part of Damage Control is making their way to the ring for tonight's opening bout here on Primetime, as Kairi Sane is ready to compete.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring, representing the Kabuki Warriors from Yamaguchi, Japan,
Kairi Sane, a phenomenal wrestler. Her aerial expertise puts her in good stead here in IPW, as she's realistically performed well in her matches that she has actually competed in here on the Primetime brand. But tonight, she's going into war after a realistically quiet opening week and of Primetime action last week. Obviously had the week off, and heading into this week, well, with AI Annihilation on the cusp, we are a week away, as that is next Tuesday. She's looking to realistically step up to the plate as a potential TV champion battle. But speaking of potential challengers tonight, well, JC Jane is being joined by Kairi's opponent. This is an odd dynamic. JC not doing her own motion.
accompanied by JC Jane, representing Toxic Attraction from New York, New York.
Well, Jasmine Nix is coming to the ring, and there you saw it. Fatal Attraction clearly is set in stone. I believe Mandy and Fallon have worked things out to get on the same page. JC Jane accompanies Jasmine Nix here to the ring for this, our opening bout of the night. Last week, in our opening matchup of Primetime, we saw the team of Nix and JC beat Alba Fire and Isle of Dawn, and it was Jasmine Nix who was the standout combatant in that bout. So tonight, a step up in competition for Nix as she gets this one-on-one match against a former NXT champion. Kairi Sane ready to roll, and so is Nix, and the bell rings and we're underway here for this matchup. Stunner by Kairi to kick off into a handstand, and then around the world she goes. Kairi off to the races early here. Nix lands a nice knee for him, and then the drop kick to the knee. Nix has that lethal combination offense, and she's putting these boots to good use. She takes away the base of Sane, and now wrenching on that arm. Knees to the back, followed that up, and Nix, realistically speaking, a well-rounded striker. Kind of, I would say, the rookie of Fatal Attraction. When you have the likes of Mandy Rose, Jane Dolan in this team, you've got veterans there. Plus, you have the Women's World Champion Fallon Henley in your ranks. This is a very dominant team in the women's division, and I'm certainly looking forward to seeing how they march forward here in IPW. What? That was such a mean kick to the face of Sane there by Nyx, who once again unleashes that combo. I popped quite hard there, could you tell? Because that looked so clean. Sane now in control. So referee, I believe it's Gale tonight here on Primetime. Up to a 6 count. Nyx keeping Sane down on the outside. Gonna grow back into the ring. We're up to an 8. Sane is not moving. Slowly gets back to her feet. The 9 almost about to be issued, but she rolls into a ripcord knee strike. Nyx is rocking and a rolling here on Primetime. And she's certainly in for the pin. I believe JC costing Nyx there a pinfall attempt as the referee removed an item from the ring. Sane now taking advantage of it, but Nyx quickly back to her feet and delivers a right hand, uncorks it, but she's caught here. The roll up not going to surmount to a victory just yet. Sane happy to unload. Gets caught though here as Nyx dodges the strikes from Kairi and now unloads on her own. Vicious onslaught of boots to the face. Delivers a kick to the gut and to the back of the head. You can tell this former soccer player is ferocious as she lands the Shining Wizard. The knee lands flush and Sane barely kicks out. Nyx has Kairi on the ropes, heads to the top rope and lands the sword. Oh, just stomping a mud hole in the chest of Kairi on the outside. Fans getting a very good view of that one. As the Kabuki Warrior, realistically speaking, hasn't found an avenue into this matchup. I believe we just saw JC climbing up and removing the top turnbuckle. Kairi into the pin. 1. Easy kick out for Nyx. As realistically, as I was saying, Kairi's not been able to land the most offense, as it's realistically speaking been all Nyx in the early goings. Kairi now delivering some vicious stomps here to Nyx. Traps the arm and stamping on the hand. The exposed hand of Nyx just being crushed underneath the boot of Sane, who's waiting for her back to her feet. Delivers a phenomenal-esque forearm springboard. Whatever that was, it didn't look pretty, but it was effective and dropped Nyx. Sane though's been distracted here by JC, and Nyx lands the Pele kick. Into the pin she goes, and could this be it? Oh, in the nick of time. Kairi, the last possible second, kicks out. Nyx though looking to end it here. Rolls Kairi through into the kick to the chest. Kairi, I'm surprised, hasn't been busted open just yet, as he strikes from Nyx to the face and to the back have been so goddamn deadly. Meteora to the back once more, and Nyx is heading to the second rope. Misses the King Kong knee drop. It's able to ascertain control still. drop down, leapfrog, and a kick to the gut, runs the ropes, and just a sliding baseball drop kick to the face. Kairi tries to land a spear, but misses wildly. Instead, is gonna be punished with a Shining Wizard. Into the pin goes Nyx. 1, 2, 3.
Here is your winner.
Jasmine Nyx is on a roll here on Primetime. 2 weeks in a row she's picked up a victory, and that puts her in good stead for a title shot against Kairi Sane at AI Annihilation. Will she or won't she get the shot? IPW management has to decide the pool of potential combatants for Kai, but I'm certainly sure Nyx is in that spot. Let's see what happens to her as we move into our next matchup. Well, from a singles match to a fatal 4-way tag match. This is a power rankings battle as we are looking to get our number 1 contenders for Gallus' World Tag Team Championships. The Bucks have been deadly on Primetime, and they're looking to continue their steed.
Is a fatal 4-way tag team match. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 344 pounds, the Mega Bucks.
Realistically speaking, feuding with the Gorillas of Destiny, the Bucks have been in a fairly even series with them. But with the fact that Team 3D didn't really get a chance to have their title rematch, as well as the fact that, well, the Bucks have been keeping their, targets on the belt. They've been feuding heavily with GOD. Feuds are ending, and championship contenders are non-existent. With AI Annihilation next week, we need a title match. And that stipulation, who knows what the AI will decide. The computer, very much a given factor for that show.
And their opponents, first, at a combined weight of 595 pounds, Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys.
I have a feeling Team 3D will probably enact their rematch clause at AI Annihilation. If not, it'll be at Turmoil. But let's be honest, this team, unlucky to lose their belt at Dual Dream to Gallus. The shock factor victory that Gallus got there against our longest reigning champs in IPW. 3D been dominant. The Dudleys have controlled the division, and through thick and thin, they're certainly eyeing up claiming their titles once more. But tonight, they're going to be put to the test in this fatal 4-way tornado tag match against some other top contenders for the championship. Well, this is certainly a swanky look.
At a combined weight of 429 pounds, the Militia.
GOD clearly come to do some business tonight here on Primetime. Not in their casual, well, in their normal wrestling gear. They've decided to opt in for suits and, well, jeans in the case of Tamatonga. Tongaloa fully suited up. This is not what I expected to see here on Primetime, but GOD Certainly a phenomenal team. A very solid dynamic. And tonight, they're going to war against the Young Bucks like usual. As well as Team 3D, who they met up with at Conquest, which was over 2 months ago now. But this team,
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 400 pounds, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, DIY.
this team haven't seen really any action in IPW. As DIY, Gargano, Ciampa are stepping into an IPW ring, presumably for the first time in their careers. The squared circle, home for Johnny Wrestling, and the man that realistically crushed NXT when he was in there. This is a stacked fatal 4-way tag match, and it's going to be hard to track what's happening as Tonga Loa unleashing a suplex to Devon. Got Tama versus, I presume, Nick Jackson. There's going to be a lot of anarchy in this matchup as Bubba and Gargano face off. Ciampa protecting Gargano, but that's realistically the end of what he can do. Bubba turns his attention to him. Across the ring, Gargano takes down Tonga Loa. Devon getting punched in the face by Gargano, who lands the Tornado DDT. There's so much in terms of slams happening right now that a weapon being pulled out is such a reprieve as Gargano brings in the kendo stick and unleashes it on Bubba Ray. Tama Tonga, Hurricane Rana from Tama. Sadly, his offense gets brought to an end as that neckbreaker from Devon sets him up. Got Nick Jackson taking it to Ciampa. Big time European uppercut to the back of the head. Pinfall attempt here, but Gargano breaks it up. Of course, Devon brings in the table. Someone actually got busted open. And it's hard to tell who just yet is covered in that crimson veil. Pinfall attempt here by Gargano. Doesn't amount to a pin. I think it might be Matt Jackson bleeding. Whoever it is, certainly is not showing. Actually, I know who it is. I could see the blood. It's Tonga Loa. There's Matt Jackson, the rainbow beard for tonight's show. Special occasion, it may seem. The Smurf beard, as I want to call it for some reason. Anyway, let's focus back in on this match and the potential that this brings. You've got the former champions, Team 3D, in this bout. A team that arguably deserves a rematch against Gallus. You have new contenders, maybe DIY here in this bout as well. As Bubba Bomb connects, he's into the pin. Slow attempt to count there by Gale, but will not harass her too much. I think the only way we're realistically going to see a win in this match is if A, bodies are all on the mat, like there's too many people injured, or B, people exit to the outside. Spear by Tama rolls into the pin. 1 count ascertained. Tonga Loa, his partner, on the outside, watching on. Tries to go for a shot on Ciampa. Lands the back elbow, though. Drops him down with a headbutt and keeps hold. Gargano roll through. G.O.D. taking on DIY is certainly an interesting matchup. Saving last grace by Devon. He's into the pin. No one breaks it up. So close to picking up the win there. Stunner or gun stun by Tama. The pin is broken up. Everyone versus anyone in this bout. DIY still's left standing as the Tornado DDT from Gargano plants Devon. Tama Tonga taking it now to Gargano. Ciampa's keeping 3 people down on the mat. Tongaloa back into the ring. Has Devon, but Devon reverses it into the powerbomb. Pinfall here attempt here as Gale just counts the pin. Bubba Ray just steals it in front of everyone.
Here are your winners, Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boyz.
This is certainly the experience of the former champs coming into play as they sneak a victory here in this match. I'm not even sure what happened. Anyway, let's move into our next bout here on Primetime. After that epic fatal 4-way tag match. Well, after that explosive match, it's time to move into a singles bout in the women's division once again.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring, representing Toxic Attraction from Yorktown Heights, New York, Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose. Obviously, earlier on, we heard the news of Fatal Attraction finally being official. Well, this woman, the leader of Toxic Attraction, has clearly some leadership in Fatal Influence and Fatal Attraction. She's formed a massive unit here in IPW. Tonight, she's looking to prove her strength and her worth. She takes us into this matchup as she is challenging a potential television champion contender. This is going to be a bit of a brawl, I've been told, as IPW management really want to set the scene and set us on a epic path in the women's division. Woo! 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 Lyra Valkyria, WWE Intercontinental Champion, is here to make an impact in primetime action.
From Dublin, Ireland, Lyra Valkyria.
The Irish native certainly has shown potential in her previous bout on IPW TV. Woo! 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 Before the match, during the transitions, I was already saying I was going to be doing the woos. Because, let's be honest, this is all Pat McAfee brings to this entrance. And it's certainly something that works. There's Lyra, a lot of potential, a lot of skill, the high-flying offense she can bring. She's fallen short a couple of times in real life, but here in IPW, she's never really been given a shot. As this bout set to get underway here, and away it goes. Quick off the blocks, Mandy lands the dropkick, taking it to Lyra. And yeah, we were starting to talk about Fatal Attraction as a powerhouse unit in IPW during the opening bout. And tonight, it's certainly coming into effect as it's realistically given them more matches on the card. It gives them potential setup for championships. AI Annihilation, as we keep harping on, is around the corner. And people want shots, people want matches on the card. And when you don't get really a shot during the regular shows, the chances of you competing for the belt is minimalistic. That's why we have right now this kind of high stakes matchup. Obviously, we've been seeing a lot of these big time bouts across Primetime and even Breakdown last week, where main eventers take on main eventers, potential television champion contenders take on other potential television champion contenders, and it sets up for an interesting turn of events, because obviously at Turmoil, which is 2 weeks after AI Annihilation, it's everyone versus anyone looking for the resolution, which the matchup, let's be honest, there's no qualification for it. It's if IPW management deem you worthy of being in the bout, you will get a shot at the resolution. And you have to feel that certainly all these combatants that are having matches here on IPW shows really want that case where they can challenge for their championship of their choosing whenever they damn want. It is such an opportunity, a resolution to the title scene that we realistically put our fate into, as Mandy close to picking up a win here. She's setting Lyra up for the Angel's Wings. Plants her. Closer rope is Lyra, but she's not able to grab it, and she is barely able to kick out. The crowd getting behind this matchup, which has realistically speaking been all one-sided. And I'm realistically thinking, as Lyra unleashes the 2K comeback, big-time leg lariat, channeling her icon, Becky Lynch, with that one. Punches connecting here by Valkyria. She goes behind for the snap German suplex. Plants Mandy. She's dragged to the center. Lyra possibly eye on the prize. Big time knee connecting. The kick to the back as well. Mandy in danger as Lyra could be setting up for the finish. A hip toss to the Toxic Attraction leader. Suplex there as well. Mandy wisely rolling to the apron. Lyra has her in her sights, delivering the spear. And Mandy landing awkwardly there on the outside. Thought for a second Valkyria was going to take to the skies, instead opting to just roll out and catch Mandy. Mandy very excited with herself getting back in the ring, catching Lyra with the power slam. Into the pin as well. Could this be it? 1, 2. Still feeling the effects of the Angel's Wing earlier in the match. Valkyria slow to kick out. Mandy, don't know what she was looking for there. Manages to catch her anyway and plant her with the body slam. Heading to the top rope, not something you typically see out of Rose. But she lands the elbow drop regardless. I'm surprised this isn't in the ropes. And our referee's obviously a little bit blind here in IPW. It doesn't really matter, as the match was not won. Lyra goes for the springboard, cross body, connecting. Landing awkwardly, I would say. Still looking to pick up the win. Snap suplex again. Rose keeps getting hit with them. And it's certainly interesting as the DDT drops Rose. It's interesting because Lyra, you certainly feel, has the potential to win this. She gets a bit froggy here into the pin. She goes a 2 count. Rose kicks out with ease. Yeah, as I was saying, Mandy was in the control for most of the early going to this battle. That spin kick just lands flush. Rose does well to recombobulate herself. Punch to the head. Plants Lyra. She's setting her up. I think she's thinking Angel's Wings once more. Underhooks are in. And plants her into the pin as well. 1, 2, 3. Dominant victory by Mandy Rose. She takes down Lyra Valkyria.
Here is your winner, Mandy Rose.
Fatal Attraction on a roll here tonight on Primetime. And with it, let's move into our next bout, our 4th matchup of the night. Well, this is certainly setting up to be an interesting 4th bout. As well, I think we've got an ultimate opportunist on the way to the ring.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 240 pounds,
Adam Copeland. Rated R superstar. Firing off the cannons here on his way to the ring. This isn't his first time competing in IPW. As recently he was competing pre-Dual Dream. He had a matchup and I believe he won on the same card as his wife and his former ally Christian Cage. But here, Cope is certainly setting up for a bit of a barn burner. Because, well, it's all about the money.
And his opponent from New York City, weighing in at 235 pounds, Shane McMahon!
The dollars are flying here in IPW as Shane O'Mac making his way to the ring for his primetime debut. And well, let's be honest, O'Mac has a lot of confidence, and rightly so. Obviously, in real life, injured beyond belief after tearing presumably his Achilles again, and blowing a muscle at WrestleMania on his return to WWE. But here tonight, taking it to Cope is Shane O'Mac, unleashing some vicious strikes. Not something you typically hear from talking about Shane McMahon, because most of his offense is like rabbit punches. And he has to land bunches of them in order for them to realistically do any damage. But Copeland now taking it to McMahon on the outside here, as the daddy's boy, realistically speaking, hasn't had an opportunity. Oh! Oh! He was sidelined in real life, and he's certainly almost going to be sidelined here in IPW. That was gruesome from Copeland, dropping McMahon across the barricade. That steel barricade, while it has a thin layer of covering, it's still pure steel underneath it. The padding won't protect you from all the impact, and well, that neck and face of McMahon planted across it. I can't believe we just saw that. As Copeland nips back up, gets caught immediately with the swinging neck breaker. So we focus back on this matchup, and kind of what we were saying in our previous bout. It's a lot of matches setting up to turmoil. If you think we have 4 weekly shows, all with 6 matches, that's 24 matches in the build-up to a pay-per-view. And let's think of it this way, Turmoil is setting up to be a massive card. We know 2 of our title matches. We've got Mariah May versus Fallon Henley. We've got Will Ospreay versus Shawn Michaels. And well, right now, a lot of our potential champions or championship matchups are undecided. And going into AI Annihilation, where IPW management relinquish control, relinquish who is facing who to an AI, we could potentially see an absolute barn burner of a card. I, for one, cannot wait. As shooting star press from Shane McMahon. He's pulling out all the stops here in IPW in his debut. As he actually is caught in a roll-up. Copeland looking to pick up the victory. Steal it from McMahon, but quick kick out there by Shane O'Mac to stay in this matchup. And you have to think, this, realistically speaking, is a potential showing at Turmoil. That 30-man match, that Turmoil bout, everyone is eligible to compete in it. And I, realistically speaking, have high hopes for a lot of people, especially with the lead up as Copeland misses that lariat, almost clobbers Gale with it, to be fair. But as I'm saying, there's a lot of expectations on our superstars in the build-up to Turmoil. Is everyone's kind of being given that shot here in the weekly shows. 24 showings, not everyone's going to get a chance to compete. But in some cases, that's better for others, as they get a chance to observe. There's a chance to realistically understand the competition that they could potentially be facing at the card, at the show, as Shane O'Mac rolls through, has Copeland in an arm triangle. The legs trapped behind the head of Copeland. Could he tap out here? Able to get out of the hold. But the spear from nowhere connecting. Shane O'Mac in danger. Kicks out in the nick of time. Quickly back to his feet as well, but Copeland quickly on top of him. Double drop down. Back elbow connects to the face of Shane McMahon. The punches are coming out. Shane gets back to his feet. The punch connects, and these two are going toe-to-toe. Copeland busted open and clobbered. Shane McMahon winning the trade as he lands the punch and an uppercut. Copeland dropped. And he's going to actually catch Shane McMahon before he can unload. Has him in the power bomb. Destroyer from Cope. As he plants Shane McMahon, forces him to the outside to recover. But the tope concealo from Adam Copeland does not give any reprieve to Shane McMahon. quickly tossing him back in the ring. Copeland, I thought he would stay on top of him. Instead, stalking his prey, waiting for the opportunity to strike. Has him, plants him with the flatliner. And he's got that look in his eyes for the spear. Plants him. 1, 2, 3. Copeland picks up victory against the budding Shane McMahon in his debut.
Here is your winner, Adam Cole Lane.
Rated R superstar putting on a show here tonight in IPW. And well, we've got more spectacles as our next matchup is another Fatal 4-Way. As mentioned, we have a Fatal 4-Way on our hands here in our co-main event, and that is a name to be coming out to the ring. The Hall of Famer, part of the Steiner brothers, Scott Steiner.
Following is a Fatal 4-Way match. Making his way to the ring, representing the Steiner brothers from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 276 pounds, Scott Steiner.
While it may not be Big Papa Pump, it is certainly an explosive suplex specialist. Scotty Boy is here to compete in IPW, and he's, well, packing some potential heat as the King, William Regal, saunters his way to the ring here on Primetime. It's been a while from...
And his opponents, first from Blackpool, England, weighing in at 240 pounds, William Regal.
from when we last saw Regal compete here in IPW. But Regal, the wily veteran that he is, the ring machismo, the guy that everyone admires and adores as a wrestler. They put him as probably one of the greatest to do it in terms of pure wrestling skill. Going up against Scott Steiner as well. Two very solid wrestlers. And well, why not add to that pool of potentially strong wrestlers?
From Tampa, Florida, weighing in at 200 pounds, Rogers Rick Storm.
Roddy Strong, fresh off that loss last week on Breakdown, is here to compete here in this Fatal 4-Way, looking to make amends to that loss against Christian Cage. And tonight, let's be honest, the field is stacked against him, but I'm sure he doesn't really care as he's in a fighting mood. The Undisputed Kingdom member brings that intensity that no one else can with them neck breakers. But someone who has intensity kind of lost last week as well on Primetime to Seth frickin' Rollins in the main event. Jey Uso looking for a bounce back as well.
And from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 242 pounds, main event, Jey Uso.
It's interesting. He calls himself the main event, but the closest he's got is the co-main. And tonight, well, he's in another co-main event. This Fatal 4-Way brings us into the yeet, and I certainly am feeling it. Jey Uso hasn't really been able to hang with the big boys bar the current champion. And he realistically wants to be able to contend, wants to be in that fight at the top of the card. So he's being tested in this fatal 4-way by IPW management. If he can beat this pure breed of wrestlers, the main event scene certainly is home to Jey Uso. If not, well, let's just say IPW management may be considering revoking a potential title shot away from this man. Main event Jey Uso looks composed. He knows the stakes. Well, he's immediately going after William Regal. Spits in the hand, channeling his cousin The Rock. Not able to pull it off as Regal brushing the forearm into the face of Jey Uso. It's pure wrestling skill that Regal has. Keeping control of the arm on Scott Steiner there. Really well executed. Regal fights out the grasp of Roderick Strong. The other side, snooplex there from Jey Uso, but everyone's not keeping their eyes on Regal, who's just one of the dirtiest wrestlers in the game, as well as the most technical wrestlers as well. Very prolific offense he possesses. Obviously, very Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson-esque as he combines their two styles together. And it's why they both see him as a mentor. They get their styles from him as, well, Regal, dirtiest player in this matchup, brings in a weapon, unable to utilize it, and immediately rolls to the outside, biding his time for the strike, and he's targeting Roderick Strong here. It's a fireman's carry. We turn our attention over to the other side, and the story we're building with Jey Uso. He wants to hang in the main event. He's not really been able to get there. Maybe once he's faced Shawn Michaels in the main, but here it's been co-mains since Dual Dream. And while he's had this consistent set of matches as Roderick Strong's been busted open, he's not really been able to impress. IPW management want their top guys to be consistent. They want them to pick up dubs and put on solid matches. As a whole, he's put on some good matches. He's an entertainer for sure, but IPW management aren't seeing championship quality and material from Jey Uso. And while he has the moniker main event, they're letting him know he isn't main event just yet, as he's crashing into the side of the English announce desk. He's already crashed into the steel chairs at ringside that my good pal Mike Rome keeps there to sit on, as well as the ringside technician. Roderick Strong in control, dropping Regal into a slingshot backbreaker. Into the pin he goes. We haven't focused really on Roddy recently, but as he lands that sick kick, beautifully executed, gets a 2 on Scott Steiner, and is immediately greeted with a sledgehammer from Jey Uso. But let's be honest, Roderick Strong, high hope after winning at Dual Dream in his bout against the Sandman. He's coming into Breakdown, obviously losing in the opener to Christian Cage. He had his eyes set on Sami Zayn's television championship, but let's be honest, if he's unable to beat Christian Cage, well, the former champ lost his rematch. So you can clearly see the fact that maybe he's not up to the caliber needed to challenge for the belt. However, right now he's in control of this matchup as he's actually rolled up here, never mind. Slow into the count there by Gale. As Jey Uso rolls back in and is starting to work over Regal's legs. Plants him as the Steiner pile driver. It's so gruesome, the screwdriver. Such a gruesome pile driver. Jey Uso working now on the arm of Scott. Super kick connects. Roderick Strong throwing Jey out the way. Into a tilt-the-world backbreaker. Regal lands the lariat. And, well, Regal has Jey Uso and plants him. Roderick Strong watching on. Lands the knife-edge chop. Regal put down to his knee from them. Well, Scotty brings in a chair and tries to toss it into Jey, but let's be honest, doesn't really amount to much as Roderick Strong tossed Jey to the outside. All four of these men showing their skill as End of Heartache. Planting Scott Steiner. Jey Uso back, well, into that neck breaker of his own. Pin's broken up by Regal, who arches on. Regal throwing Jey Uso to the outside. That is a surprise in this situation, to throw your opponent out there and follow him. As, well, Roderick Strong was looking to end the match with the sick kick. Scott Steiner evades it and is opting for his own pin. Jey Uso quickly back in to break it up. I thought he would be flat on the mat as he'd been punished with that kendo stick. Regal protecting Steiner here. Gonna pay for it though. Scotty hits him. Scott Steiner not really got much of a story or an arc for him here in IPW. It's kind of just here to put on a show. But let's be honest. Big Papa Pump, if it was Big Papa Pump and not just normal Scott Steiner, you certainly understand the skill and the moniker that this man possesses, and that bodybuilder background is very solid in providing him a lot more of a reputation. DDT there by Jey. Puts Regal down as a spear connects. We've seen a lot of them tonight, but this one not able to pick up a win like what we saw from Copeland earlier in the show. Steiner lands a nice powerbomb to Roderick Strong as Regal gets him into a very nice suplex. Roderick Strong quickly up to break it up and lands a backbreaker once more. Regal in danger as his knee and his head busted open. Roddy getting some semblance of payback for being busted open earlier. As Regal gets him in the straight jacket net breaker. Opts for the pin. Could this be it? Jey into the ring quickly though. Breaks up Regal's attempt to winning and, well, DDTs him to the mat. Regal's in the drop zone. Never mind. Roderick Strong stops the drop from happening. Spinebuster to Roddy. And now he's in the drop zone. Who's it going on? The Uso splash misses Roddy, but that kendo stick doesn't. Scott bringing in the heavy artillery. He's actually gonna be punishing Jey. Up into the suplex position and drops him with the screwdriver. Could this be? It's main event time here in IPW Primetime. And well, What better man to make it a main
The
event?
following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from London, England, weighing in at 254 pounds, the Assassin,
Will Ospreay making his ring entrance. And well, he's a man to be feared. Title shot against Shawn Michaels at Turmoil. This man realistically doesn't have to compete in television shows, but opting to do so after, well, let's put it this way, after realistically not having a week off from that epic Dual Dream card.
and his opponent from Aberdeen, Washington, weighing in at 210 pounds, Bryan Danielson.
But he's being thrown into the deep end as the inaugural undisputed champion Bryan Danielson is his opponent tonight as the Dragon. He's been on a bit more of a roll in recent weeks, picking up off that losing streak that he suffered. He's now winning matches, and this is a solid test for Ospreay. If you can beat the former champion, you can almost certainly beat the current. Danielson, as always, that same aura, that same ego he brings to the ring. He exudes confidence. And well, tonight, he gets to take on the #1 contender. He gets to showcase why he's the inaugural champ. And maybe put his name in the mix for another title shot. Ospreay looks ready to go. Danielson staring blankly into the soul of Will Ospreay. We're underway and both men trying to go off quick. Ospreay handstand back elbow connects to the Dragon. And this is going to be a bit of a brawl. Fireman's carry, snake eyes to Danielson by Ospreay, who's rolls to the outside. Tries to grab the leg of Danielson as he comes back in, as both men now on the outside. Just going to drop Danielson down. Airplane spin on his back. And a slap to good measure. Ospreay kind of showing his wrestling skill here against arguably the greatest technical wrestler of all time, Bryan Danielson. That technical prowess not yet been able to be put on display, as he's going for a more brutal, more BCC-esque offense that he's known for. Tossing Ospreay into the stairs. Gale up to a 4 count. Neither man getting back in the ring just yet. There's no emphasis to do so, as Ospreay and Danielson continue to jockey here on the outside. Ospreay gets Irish whipped as Danielson rolls back in. An 8 count here. Ospreay gets back in the nick of time. Goes back to work on Danielson as a Russian leg sweep takes the base of Danielson away from him. As these two prime wrestlers know how to work here. As Danielson tries to get going, actually able to catch Ospreay. Throws him into the corner and lands the big drop kick to the face. And he's looking for more as he does it again. Neither man wanting to stay down for the other, as Ospreay may have been looking to set up Danielson for the hidden blade. Not able to do so, as Danielson quickly back to his feet. Dragon screw leg whip into the leg lock here by Danielson, just wrenching away at Ospreay's foot and ankle. Gets a 2 count off that pin attempt. and busts him open. The Dragon, prolific with these knee strikes. The third one was not the charm though. He actually gets back up and oh no. Once more, Danielson lands the running drop kicks. Corner to corner as the roll through from Will into the Cosadora, into that super kick. Planting Danielson down on the mat. Danielson wisely rolls out, but he's caught once more. Snake Eyes busts him open. It's both men covered in the blood of battle. Danielson dropping Will on his knee and shin. Drop down. Hip toss by Danielson. As, yeah, we've looked at this matchup. IPW management testing Will with this one. They gave him some recovery time after Dual Dream, having the double matchup where he faced AJ Styles as well as Roman Reigns. Two solid combatants as he lands a Uranagi. Into the pin he goes. Both former WWE champs. Universal champion in Roman's case as well. And Will beat them both. But he's never faced a man like Danielson as the yes kicks come out. Eight plum kicks connecting. Danielson into the pin. And Ospreay forced to kick out. Dragon possibly looking for a submission there. Ospreay catches him and lands a forearm that stunned Danielson. Into the pin he goes. A 2 count on the Dragon. Aerial Assassin needs a lot more to keep Danielson down. And this could have been it. I think he was maybe thinking Stormbreaker. Danielson looking for the Boo Psycho knee. Gets caught with a drop kick to the back. Ospreay now landing the lariat. Danielson is in the drop zone. Potentially gonna be caught as Ospreay calling for it. The Code Breaker. Channeling his hero Chris Jericho with that one. Drops Danielson down. Kick connecting. Precision strikes from Ospreay. And this time Danielson flat on his back in the drop zone. Ospreay not gonna come flying. Instead, opting to land some strikes. Irish whip. Punch misses. And Danielson unloads with some barraging kicks. Has Ospreay into the cattle mutilation. Could this be it? Ospreay not tapping out. Turns it around. Elbow to the face of Danielson. Gets him out the submission. And stand back at elbow strike from Ospreay. These two men putting on a spectacle as Ospreay has the gut wrench into the Storm Breaker. Into the pin he goes, floats over and pushes Danielson away from the ropes. 2 count. So close to winning. Danielson in danger of losing this match. That win streak could be snapped as Ospreay has him package. Pile driver. Ospreay rocking and a rolling. Spiral tap connects. 1, 2. How did Danielson kick out? Ospreay drops the leg. Danielson. He must be running on fumes. Somehow finding a way to fight back. finding an avenue of attack. But Ospreay, the healthier, the more stamina. Certainly, the less punished in this battle. Danielson, though, his never say die attitude paying dividends here. Northern Light suplex. Kick. The punch misses. We're up to a 6 count here. I have to feel both men want to get back in. They do so, and Danielson catches Ospreay on his re-entry. The lapel lock is locked in. Ospreay in danger, and he taps.
Here is your winner, Bryan Danielson.
The Dragon has done it. His win streak continues. And Dual Dreams champion loses in his return match. What a main event. What a battle by these two superstars. And with it, it's time to bid you all adieu. Thank you very much for joining me tonight here on Primetime. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new and if you want to. And I will see you on Thursday for Breakdown. See you guys then. Peace out.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big swings.